Welcome to Transport Fever 2 on the What Chris Plays channel. We are gonna get a little quick playthrough of this game in as the release date has been announced recently. September 29th of this year, 2026 is when Transport Fever 3 is coming out, so we're definitely gonna be playing that on the channel. So I want to get a quick playthrough of this. You can see we're basically gonna build a cargo network, a transportation network around Lake Michigan here, Milwaukee, Madison, and Chicago. They're going to be the main cities we're going to focus on today, and we're going to get things up and running. So we do have this in sandbox mode, so I can place industries, wherever my heart desires. And I feel like it's kind of like a nice sandbox mode for this. And the main reason why I want to do this is kind of like this one here. It's a little too close to Madison, so for Madison's growth, and same with the construction material there. So we're gonna go ahead and get rid of that, and we're gonna see, the demands. The first thing I really want to do is get some food going, and we have some farms out here, but Madison, wants tools, and it wants tools and goods before it wants food, and I'm gonna absolutely swap that. I do like playing this way. I feel like the city should want food before it wants anything else, and I've kind of set up a lot of these towns to be that way, and we will adjust that as we go. So the main thing we're going to focus on at the beginning of this playthrough is definitely building out a nice hub for food processing, and we're going to try to find, like, we have some food processing by Green Bay, we have some by Chicago, but I think I want to build an area out, and we're going to want to go after these three town. So let's get the terrain open here. Like, building on the mountain wouldn't be great. My issue with this processing plant is this highway is going to want to connect to Milwaukee, and we're going to want to get that connection going pretty soon. But I feel like if we go ahead and delete this, we can come in here and find one. Food processing. Yeah, boy, the terrain. I think we will put it about right here, and we're gonna take some liberties with this playthrough. We're gonna have some fun with it. The economy is on easy, or the difficulty in this game, but we will want to connect this up with a county road. So we'll go ahead and do that. And as we make money, we will start terraforming to make things a little bit prettier. But let's go ahead and upgrade this one instantly, and we want to get rid of this here. And let's go ahead and naturally connect up Milwaukee and Chicago like it should be with this highway, this county road right now. And what I'm wanting to do by the end of today's episode is get Madison, Milwaukee, and Chicago all fed food from this Chicago processing plant. So we'll need a way for goods to come in from this Madison farm, probably this Madison farm, at minimum, maybe the Chicago farm out here, but we'd have to do a bridge over this river, or it'd be a long trek to get around, and possibly do this all with trucks. We're starting in 1950, so we have some decent vehicles. So I think what we'll start doing is setting up our terminals here, our truck station, I should say, and we will put this right in front of the plant. I am going to do decent size here of this platform, because I have a feeling we're going to have, before it's all said and done, when we get this thing fully set up, we're going to have lots of farms feeding it in. And this road does connect, but not the best way possible. So let's go ahead, do a little bit of a highway build out here. A little bit of a bridge going on there. That's not too terrible. Just to kind of give them a more direct shot. We'll go through the mountains here. As I saw this map, I was debating kind of trying to mimic real life with the highways, but I was like, that seems a little overkill for a quick series that we're trying to do before this new game comes out. This one we can go ahead and make a little bit smaller, because we're not going to necessarily need it to be large here. And we're going to go as far away as we can to make the route as short as possible. So just to get us started here, let's go ahead and create a road depot. I mean, we're going to put it out here. Well, yeah, I mean, we're playing on easy. Maintenance costs shouldn't be bad. Let's go ahead and put it right here, and we're going to create our first line. It's going to be from Madison South over here to Chicago sidings, but we're going to call this Madison Grain 1. Don't really necessarily worry about the colors personally, but instantly we'll want to come in here and do a little truck unload spot and see, as much of the food getting selected here in Chicago. And we'll do another line from the food processing to Chicago, and we will call this Chicago Food 1. And we're going to do our own road depot out here in Chicago. And let's get that one going first. We'll go down here to this one that does all cargo types. We're just going to grab one of them, throw them on the food line, the game going, and I know we're going to want a whole bunch up here eventually. So we're going to come in here. I'm going to grab 10 to start with of the same trucks. Well, we don't have enough for that. Let's go 8. Will it give us, can I get 8? Can I get 8? I can get 8. I'll put that on the Madison line. So we're down, basically spent all of our money there. Just getting this one route set up. We do have a $5 million loan that we're going to want to pay back. So we're going to want to do a slow roll here. Get these guys going. They're only going to make money one direction. Should be a pretty good, with these 8 vehicles, I'm hoping we can make a decent amount of money off of this line. If we come in here and look at the line, our rate's going to be 132. Not great. We do have a 2-to-1 ratio here, so that's really only going to give us like, what is that, 67, 66 food? And then the demand in Chicago right now for food is 68. So to get us started, it should be good. This one line here on our food line can deliver 30. So we're going to need to make some money to be able to buy another truck to get that up to the 60 some that need to get delivered. It's going to be running on empty for a while, but we wanted to get that demand created. You can see here, shipping 43 from Madison, and our consumers, Chicago, are at 0 right now because there's just nothing to transport. But they will request it. We got 8 going here, and I guess we could have, to get a better start, had these guys waiting. Let's manage this line. I usually don't do this, but let's do full, if any. Believe that's what we want to do. So they should wait till they have half, but they're waiting until they're full now, which we might be okay with, and we can shut that off if they ever start backing up. But this should start building up as over here. They're sending 75 right now. That's the shipment. The producing 200. Consumers shipping 78. Transported 100%, which is interesting. But we do have some of the grain getting dropped off. And they are starting to store food that will be sent to Chicago. So they're making $38,000 each time one of these drops off when they're full. This one's not going to be full. So it's going to be a little lower, 46,000 there. Yeah, and this one's empty. So now when these start returning, this should start piling up over here. And at some point, we're going to hope we start making some money on this line. The food line is going to take a little bit longer. We are positive on the grain line right now. Food's coming back. There's definitely going to be, well, there might not be. I was just hoping there's going to be 14 for them, but I guess 9 for a first trip isn't too bad. Now let's see if they wait long enough. So this 6 dropped off. They're not gonna. They're gonna take off already. They have 10. That's not terrible. But let's look at our depot, as I'm moving around way too much, guys. And we need to budget about $250,000 to get another truck on this food line, which is what we're going to absolutely want to be able to start expanding this operation. But now we're getting, should be full loads coming in now. It takes a little time to get these ramped up, but once they get ramped, they start going pretty good. We're looking at our rate here, 185. It's improving. Looking good. You can see our truck is coming into Chicago here for the first delivery. See the loops around. Let's see what they make dropping off the food. 34,000. Not terrible. Not terrible at all. And I think we could, and this might be more beneficial than adding in more vehicles, is upgrade this to get them their full speed the entire way. They're going 41 kilometers, it looks like. Or yeah, they're going up to 56. So that was faster than that road would allow. Which in turn, 185. Maybe it didn't. Maybe that was a waste of money, but eventually that money will be well spent. And the food truck's coming back. We will have one drop off 14 goods here to be able to give us a full 14 of food for this truck to pick up for its next delivery. It should process it in time, and it absolutely is going to. They're going to get a full 14. Love it. So now we have all of these other loads coming in that are going to be fully loaded. Jumping back over to the farm here. We still have even more waiting. Perfect. So all those trucks are full on their way back. Looking at our lines, the Madison grain line's making us $335,000 right now. This food line's about to be profitable once it goes in. And that means right now, I feel confident going into the food line, duplicating that. And then we look over here and we're at 200. We got this transport going up. We're about to upgrade. The next time we're gonna wanna increase this a little bit before we add in this second. I feel like before we add in this second farm, let's maximize this one out. So I'm gonna let this run for a little bit at ×3 and see how we're faring. Our farm has upgraded, so now it can produce up to 600. It's not gonna actually do that yet. Shipment's at 200, so we absolutely need to get this line's rate, and it's at 199. It's at 200, so it should be good for now without adding any more vehicles, because it will satisfy the transportation here. But as that gets a little bit better over here, we got to get this shipment going. So getting this second city in here would absolutely be nice at this point. And I think what we want to do is add a little depot in Milwaukee, so they have their own depot. And we'll find where we want this stop. I feel like right here should be good. And we'll add a new line from Chicago food to Milwaukee. And I am instantly gonna put 2 vehicles on this if we can afford it. It looks like we can, just barely. So we'll get that going, and that should instantly, increase the consumers here. They're already asking for 2 or 3. We'll start seeing when we hover here, we can see our Milwaukee food should start populating as, more goods come in. But that in turn should come over here and increase this 200 eventually. Well, this is upgrading. This has got to upgrade first before that 200 increases, and it is on its way right now. We will physically see this thing change here momentarily when it gets fully upgraded, which is awesome. You can also see our Madison food is showing up. And they should be already heading over with 5. That should start ramping up better, but we need this demand to get a little bit higher. It's a long level up time. It's almost there though. There we go. So instantly the shipments should start increasing. Production's going to increase. And so every time this number increases, we should see over here this number go up by 2. And it jumped all the way to 400 because it knows it can give 200 eventually here. So we're gonna start backing up here. You can already see the little icon, and money's at 1 million. I think we're gonna come in here. We're gonna go to this line, manage vehicles. Can't duplicate all of them because we don't have enough money. But let's go ahead and do 2 right now. Get a little bit more money coming in. We can do 2 more. And that's got the rate up to 310, which I think will be okay for now. This line's making lots of money. It's got a good balance going on it. And over here, how are we doing? Are we backing up on anything? Not terrible. Chicago, 41 out of its 87 required food are being satisfied. I think this is a good time to come in here and add a bus stop. And we'll add it like right in the middle here. We're gonna connect these two. We're just gonna do an inner city bus route here, and we can use our existing, well, let's make the line first from Chicago to Milwaukee. And it'll just be a loop for now. We can extend this later on. Then we can go in here in our road depot in Chicago, and we want to go passenger. And we already have this twin one that can hold up to 14, the twin coach. With the money that we have right now, I'm going to risk that 2 is going to be good for that. So we'll get that going, and hopefully we'll start seeing some people waiting here. But you can see skyscrapers already in Chicago. I love it. Bus is going to get here. Nobody's there. It's gonna run dry for a while, but that demand should pick up, and those 2 towns should, have people shipping back and forth or transporting back and forth. And, when we go in here, there is a public transport. As we increase this number, that'll make the city grow. We have 258 in Milwaukee right now. Chicago has 368 and growing. Mediocre with the emissions, but I think that'll be fine. It's Chicago. They can handle some emissions. 4 people waiting. Buildings growing up there. Commercial building. And Chicago food is backing up a little bit. Let's go ahead and add 1 more vehicle there. Milwaukee food. Let's go ahead and double those vehicles because they have such a longer route. And we'll see how we're doing here now. Do have a little warning because we are losing a little bit of production from not picking up fast enough, but I feel like we might be able to live with that for the moment, as we are already upgrading to level 3 here of our food processing plant. And kind of what I'm keeping an eye on is this stored number ever going to 0? Because that's when we're losing production on the plant, and it is for momentarily there. And once this upgrades again, it's definitely going to be close to time to add in a second farm here. Yeah, at this point we're just kind of letting the game go at ×3. I probably will slow it down soon, but things are processing pretty good. We're going to come into our money. We're going to repay. We're down to $3 million debt. What I've done so far is I added in a loop here that's going to connect Madison up to Milwaukee. I also added in a road here that's going to connect Madison to this road, because I think we're going to get them online now for food. So we will want a truck unload station that we could probably swing about right here. And Chicago is now demanding tools. Love it. And we got some people waiting here. Already starting to see this pile up. If I can click on it correctly, 45 people waiting. And on our bus route we have, oh no, that's not our bus. And it's coming back right now, picking them up. Looking good. But I do want to just kind of keep playing it this way. Let's get another depot going out here in Madison, so they have their own. And they are going to invest in 5 trucks to get their, their food going, Madison food. And so hopefully by the time they get over there, there'll be a little bit of food piling up for them. And we will start having to play the game of different cargo terminals or different bays for each of these, because this could start piling up. But at some point we're definitely going to put a train station in here to ship this stuff around. And I think it is time to get our second farm online here. Go about right there, and we will do our line from the farm all the way to the food station. We will call this Chicago Grain 1. And we'll do the same thing we did with the other one. Even though they'll have a little bit of upkeep, we will put their own terminal here and go ahead and buy some vehicles here. And we're gonna, just be able to afford 2 right now to get this up and running. But that might be a good way to slow roll it, because they're not even going to see those yet. It's probably gonna want us to satisfy this a little bit better beforehand. So let's come into this line. Let's wait for a little bit more cash to come in, and we'll add a couple more trucks here. And how is this looking? We've almost got this maxed out. Production is just about at 600, but transportation is down, to 54%. So that's getting backed up a little bit, and I don't really think the game is going to start adding this. Just a little bit, a 3 on there. So until we start satisfying that, and then once this gets up to another level past 600, because the most it can actually process right now is 600. So we might have put that a little early, but I have a feeling adding in Madison in here is really going to start kicking this up a little bit, because we have Chicago wanting 103 food, got Milwaukee wanting 103. Madison eventually is going to want that much. And how are we looking? Woo, transportation wise, we got a good backup here. We can go ahead and add another vehicle in here. And let's see how all of our lines are doing. Let's sort by balance. So the Madison food one was the new one that we added. It's a long route. They should make a lot of money off of those deliveries. They got to have food. They got to have the food to deliver. So it's going to take a little bit for that one to make money. Same with the Chicago grain. Going to have to see the grain start piling up here. So that might have been premature, but like I said, I have a feeling this thing's going to keep increasing here as we keep satisfying the needs of these 2 towns. We might need a 4th town, but there's a big jump for Madison there, 19. It looks like we're keeping up with Milwaukee, keeping up with Chicago pretty well. Food stored here is running out. So this line over here is still a little bit shy of what it could produce. Let's try to get that up to 600, I guess. We're at 412, 464, 516. It's going to be congested. Definitely might upgrade this to a train right now. We just don't have the money to invest in it. Yeah, this is definitely getting to the point where there's pretty much a truck here at all times. And I'm watching this number here to see if it's going to keep decreasing or if it's about stabilized. And it does seem like it's still increasing a little bit. We are going to invest a little bit in a cargo warehouse out here. So now that number can increase a little bit more. That gives us in our terminal a little bit more capacity. We had 40, so 80 really. And now we have another 75 that we can put in here. So that is increasing still. Let's go ahead and, yeah, that number was higher. And I think the slowness of something going on here, probably dropping off here, is causing them issues. Let's go to the Chicago, or that is the Milwaukee grain one. Let's manage the line. And here we're going to let them go to any of these. And that should in turn speed them up. Yeah, even with all those new vehicles, it's still only 363. I think it is time to go into trains. I got too many mods. I don't really want to use them for this playthrough, but let's do a terminus here. If we have it just connect like that, yeah, we'll do some terraforming and improve it. Just a single line that goes straight out here and do the same thing. All right, I'm gonna slowly get this track going financially, and by the time we have enough money to make a train, I'll rejoin you. Well, while we're waiting for the money to go up, we do start seeing a little demand over here. Their shipment is up to 200. So this line should be doing pretty good. And then over here, did that mean we got another upgrade here? We did, absolutely. So now we can see things are starting to pile up. Madison specifically, let's go ahead and give them another vehicle. We're waiting for enough money for this train situation, which I think we probably are going to take a loan out here. We do have a lot unlocked, but I don't think we can financially really swing some of these. Let's try this one. It is diesel, has pretty good pull power, and we're just going to need grain. So we're going to want the gondolas, and ideally, gosh, this is going to cost us 15 million to get this investment going. I say we do it. Let's do a little less trains. Let's do 14 million. And instantly, oh, we need to make a new line. We need to make a new line, guys. I forgot that part. There to there. And there's our first train. It is going to be empty the first time through. And that is connected, right? Oh boy, Chris. I needed to connect that to there. Let's see if we can solve this. Did not. Let's pause. Let's pause. I mean, that might have worked, but I don't think it was going to. What we'll do is we'll bring a road out this way just for this and place that there. A little bit more ugly terrain work later on. Connect those. Will that line automatically solve itself? I don't think it will. We'll go here and we'll get rid of that, and we will add a stop right there, and that should... Oh, I didn't mean to do a tunnel. That's okay. Yes, we're starting to see it pile up here. And what I want to do here now, I want to go to these, whoops. I want to go ahead and go to this one. I'm going to start grabbing a few of these and start selling them and start shifting the demand from here over to here. And we'll eventually get rid of this entire run. And we'll just be doing train if we can get this rate high enough. We can already see this is holding more than we can process. And the line already is making $127,000. This thing is flying. I do want to come in here, and I think we didn't make this long enough. Boy, we made some mistakes here. Over here, yeah, they are already just sitting waiting. So let's go ahead and go into these vehicles. We're going to sell them all. We'll manage this line. We'll go ahead and delete the line as well. And might as well clean all of this up because it is not needed. And coming in with, you know, over 300 sitting here and just kind of pausing it and looking at this track that we made, we can hold probably 3 more cars in here. Let's configure it. We'll go 1, 2, 3. It says it's mediocre, but I think that'll be all right. And that really messed that up. That was weird. Only the new, so the next pass we'll get everything we need going there. But while we have all this money, let's just repay as much as we can. Down to $10 million in debt. I mean, and this line on its own is probably going to get us out of debt here in a little bit. But this won't be a great payday because it's not full because of whatever just happened there. It's only going to drop off 54. It still was $1 million. Gets this thing back up and running. Milwaukee Food's falling a little bit behind. We'll take a look at that in a minute, but we want to see about if we can get this up. We're probably going to have to add a second train here. 162 at a time. It's just not going to catch up. Repaying another $1 million. We're down to 9.5. Coming in here, this should be a pretty good payday. $3 million we're going to repay so quick. We're going to get out of debt, save enough money to get a second train going, and be pretty solid moving forward. And we're actually going to come in here. Well, we'll get money momentarily. Yeah, we'll pause on paying off some loans because we need to get that line up and running a little bit better. So this is going to have another 162. Still not caught up, but we'll solve it before the end of today's episode here. We're definitely killing the production over here because we're not delivering as much as we were with all of the trucks yet. So you can see this is diving down, going to cause this to decrease, but then we come up here. It's going to drop off a good bulk of it. It's going to turn around and drive off. And it's going to process this before it gets back. But that did give us some money to solve the problems here. Manage vehicles, we'll duplicate. We're going to select all again and duplicate. And I think we're going to do that one more time. Oh, not enough money for that. Let's just do about that many. And then I will repay a little bit more. We're down to 6.5 million. Yeah, still not keeping up. At this point, I think I'm going to start building out our track so we can have two go on here at once. And this is going to take a little bit of time financially to pull this off. We're going to have to wait for money to come in. All right, we are using the auto signals mod, so that should take care of all of the signals for us. A couple more deliveries, and I think we'll be able to duplicate this train and see if we've solved our problems. Oh yeah, this thing's starting to increase because of probably the other trucks coming from the long distance. Well, we have a minute. Yeah, everything's in the green. Let's take a look at this real quick. See how we're doing with our public transportation. Probably could use a couple more buses on that. Let's go ahead and add 2 more there. And Chicago's booming. So Chicago's up to almost 500 people, 459. Milwaukee, we've got up to 440. And Madison's growing as well, up to 400. So we're doing good. We're doing good. I think after, yeah, it's going to be probably 2 more deliveries. And we should be able to, I mean, we could take out more loans, but I want to get rid of the loans. So go manage vehicles, and we will, manage vehicles and duplicate. Not enough money still. It's more than 17 million. Oh, because we did add a couple cars, didn't we? Okay. Once this delivery happens here, we'll be able to hit this duplicate and see how our 2 trains running together are. There we go. And this one should be coming out right away. And over here we have 308 goods. So they should, get their 162. Leaving another 160 some. And they're going to keep going. They're flying on this side. And our other train was waiting. They see them passing each other now. And we want to see how this handles it, get this explanation point to go away as it is now, but by the time the next train comes back. So if they get past this signal, they will stop here. So a somewhat slow stop. Interesting. I think we could add another signal in there to make that get that a little bit better, but they are rocking and rolling now. Just about 200. So did we add enough here? 607. It should be just about the perfect amount. Getting this, yeah, it might just take a couple trips for that to pay off. So we're gonna go ahead and just repay here. We're down to 8.5 million in debt. So temporary pause there. Yeah, I think I am gonna come in here with the signals. Turn auto off and add one. Oh, we're broke. Give them a little bit more runway. Once a bunch of money comes in right here. Yeah, 3.3 million. So if I do another signal here, I think they will continue. And that should buy us enough leeway for them to not have to stop. Let's see what happens. Perfect. So we even improved their rate even more. Now, was this one full? It was full. So now the question is, are these going to be full now that we've caught up? Just under. It did. It just filled up. Now this line's making us $8 million once, well, maintenance must have just kicked in. Yeah, back up to 8. They're crossing each other's paths. Very nice. And we've got 96, 98. So these are going to be somewhat empty here. So I'm going to risk it here. I'm going to grab both of these, come in here. We're going to decrease one car from each of them, get, a good amount of money back, which in turn is going to get us out of debt and have $2 million sitting here. So these will now only hold, well, let's see the full number on this one, 144. So we're hoping this gets up to about that to find the little sweet spot there. But we got this rocking and rolling now. All blue here, perfect. And we come over here. Now we're back to where we're producing more than we need to ship, which is a good problem. So now, you can move on to the next issue. And I think that gives this area a little bit more finished look, and I'm absolutely loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. There's some, improvements that we'll be wanting to look into doing with these lines. Plenty of food just piling up, right? Milwaukee, Chicago. Chicago's good, but Milwaukee and Madison, we could probably manage some vehicles here. Really just double those. Come over here to the Madison one. Is that the one we just did? Yeah. So we'll come back, we'll go to the Milwaukee one, and yeah, definitely double those. But looking good, not a ton of extra grain over here. We're at 100%. Can't really complain about this, even though they're not at full capacity. I think we're probably safe to come in here and just kind of min-max this. Get another $1 million back. You see, we have $18 million. We are sitting pretty moving forward, and I'm trying to find all the areas that we touched and clean them up a little bit, as you saw probably if we did a little time lapse there. This tunnel I'm tempted to fix as well. Let's go ahead and pause that and I'll kind of show how I did that. Went ahead and just kind of deleted every segment of the bridge and then grabbed our terrain tools and did flatten right there and just pushed it all the way to the connection, really. And then we can come back in with the train. I'm adding the high-speed one because I probably should have done that originally so we don't have to upgrade to it. But now that we have a little bit of cash, I think that's okay. And I kind of love the way this is looking carved out. Let's push it to the side a little bit more here. And now that that's like that, we could probably get away with bringing the track a little farther, but that looks good. I probably want to get rid of the trees in here. Go ahead and let it play again. And then make this brush a little bit smaller. Do a little bit more softening right around here. Yeah, and let that kind of clean itself out. And then I kind of want to go in with our paint tool again and find this sand-ish color. Is that the same one? And if you hold shift, it will do the whole thing. So I want to kind of go across this whole train track here and just make this look a little bit more finished, really. I just think that looks so much nicer. And then when we get back to the ground after the bridge, looks like the ground here was, you know, modified to put the train in here. It shouldn't just be perfect grass around the whole area. Yeah, I think that looks awesome. Just, you know, giving it a little bit of look. Up here we can tell it's a train track. Could be better ways to do that, but I think that'll work. Alright, are we backing up over here now because of the last change we made? I think that'll be the last thing we want to check on today in today's segment or episode here. It's coming in. Yeah, it's still going to be not completely full, which I think we will live with this at that point. Still happy there. And over here, oh, shipment is pretty much died, so we'll pick up with that next episode and figure out what's going on with that, because I think we do need to get some more goods. Madison's just falling behind, huh? Probably want to increase that next episode. We can see we have 394 over here in Madison now. Milwaukee, we're sitting at 467, and Chicago, which will be our biggest cities, at 550. We will start looking into the other needs that Chicago is interested in. I don't know if we'll get over here in this playthrough. We might get over to Detroit. Really going to focus on building these cities and heading up towards the UP as well. But I think that's where I'll leave you. Our little, you know, dedicated build of today's episode right there. Thanks for hanging out on What Chris Plays. I'll catch you on the next one.